If I may, if I could have everyone's attention, please. If I could have everyone's attention, we're going to have to get started. I always like to get started at 12 o'clock on the nose. I know we're running a little late, but those of you in line, if you can keep the conversations down, we've got to get started because of time. Question? Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Now this is a special day, people. All of you people turned out to hear me MC this program. MC, that didn't come out right. But before we get started, I got a few introductions to make. I'm going to start out with Marvin Green, because he brought, his mother came here all the way from Chicago to be here today, and she said she wanted to hear one of my old jokes that I've repeated so many times. Where's Marvin Green? Where's Marvin? Okay, Marvin, you got a heavy voice. Introduce your mother. Where is she? All right. Now a couple of special things are happening here today. We also have the newly elected president of the Florida A&M University National Alumni Association, Mr. Curtis Johnson. I need to point out that he's the newly elected. He takes office July 1, is that right? On July 1. We're looking forward to that. He's a graduate of the FAMU School of Business and Industry. And Vaughn Wilson told me he learned a lot Curtis did from Vaughn when they were in SBI together. Is that right, Vaughn? Veronica Wiggins is a very special lady. She's one of the greatest coaches in the history of Florida A&M University. She's one of the greatest women in the history of Florida A&M University. So, we have a few of her former players here. Coach, I didn't play softball because I was a baseball man. Yeah. They're the same. All right. Well, before we get started, we're going to, there's a special relationship between Vaughn Wilson and Coach. So I'm going to ask Vaughn, you ready now? Come up and tell us a little bit who this lady is.
Well, I got to start off by congratulating Curtis, because I never would have thought, years ago in SBI, Dean Mobley put me in charge of the travel group. She had businesses within SBI. And my vice president was Curtis. And neither did we know that in taking that assignment, we'd be picking up CEOs weekly from IBM, DuPont, from every major Fortune 500 company. And we had a pretty good time. And from then, I always knew that Curtis was a smart guy. He was a task-oriented guy. And so I was glad to support him, and glad he is the president of FAMU National Alumni Association. As far as Coach Wiggins, the first thing she did when she walked in the door is blame me. The whole time we worked together, every time we had an interview or something, she would always blame me. She used to run from reporters. She's a humble person, so she doesn't like the spotlight that way. So I knew today would be a little uncomfortable, which is why I stayed in the background, let Mr. Jackson do all the work, but I knew I was going to get blamed in the end anyway, so I accept that. But before she comes up, I do want to share this story. I never could get her to tell me about herself. So the way that I got Coach Wiggins to tell me about herself was I rode on the bus with her in the softball team going to FAU to a softball tournament. And she usually sat, they have the same seating order all the time. And I asked her assistant coach before we got on the bus to move, because I'm gonna sit next to Coach Wiggins, because I'm gonna harass her the whole way down there for her to tell me who she is. And so on that trip, I learned some interesting things about her that she probably hasn't told many people or anyone. First off, she went back all the way. I got so comfortable that she told me about how she was born. So you all familiar with that roundabout circle in the middle of Monticello? Well, they were on the way to Tallahassee trying to get to the hospital, but they couldn't get to Tallahassee, so they stopped on that circle and called a doctor there, and she was born in a doctor's office right over in that area, so in that circle. So when you drive by that circle, you know there's some Coach Wiggins history with that. And another thing is she actually didn't come to FAMU, Tallahassee, to go to FAMU to go to school. She actually came up here to work. And thank God for all of us, some of her friends encouraged her to take some classes, take one class, and then she fell in love and she met mentors on campus, and so she continued to get her degree at FAMU. So thank God for those good friends that encouraged her to come to FAMU, and to this day she is the #1 HBCU softball coach in the history of softball by a long margin. She won over 730 games. The next closest coach to her is Bethune-Cookman's coach, but she took 9 years and went to Maryland, so those don't count as far as HBCU wins. So her HBCU wins are 430. So that's how far she's almost halfway to Coach Wiggins. So I don't think her record of HBCU wins will be eclipsed. And proud to know her, and so glad that she's here today so that she can get some flowers, because COVID robbed us of doing a good celebration for her. So great to see some of her former players. They were fierce. And if there's one thing I miss about the MEAC softball tournament was the best black college tournament, hands down. Good to see you, Coach.
There's one person in the room who does not want to be here today, and that's Coach Wiggins. She doesn't like attention. I told her one day, I said, Coach, the 220 Quarterback Club is going to have a fundraising program in your honor. She said, no, it's not. That's the way she speaks, you know. She's abrupt and to the point. No, you ain't going to do that. So, but I have to take a moment, and I'm proud to say, Coach, that the 220 Quarterback Club purchased a $10,000 pitching machine for the softball machine. Yes, your first machine, your first pitching machine. We are first in a lot of things. Yeah. Didn't we do something else? The water sprinkler. We water sprinkler for the field. I see we got two visiting alumni chapter presidents. One from Jackson, Mississippi. Where's the president of Jackson, Mississippi chapter? All right. Hey, and your name, sir? Derek Singleton from Mississippi. What part of Mississippi? That's a great name. Okay, and the Fort Pierce chapter? Derek, you had your hand up?
No, I just want to say, I'm in the middle of a flat country.
Oh.
And my daughter's got 2 degrees Jackson.
That's all right. That's all right. You can still eat. I hear you. Where's the Fort Pierce chapter? Yes, sir. Oh, over here. Your name, sir?
I'm Jimmy Lane. I'm standing there in the park.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you, man. Okay, Vaughn, because some people have to go, I've got we have two.
One.
Yeah, I heard about the other one. Okay. Coach, we have one presentation for you that I want to kind of do that now. And we have another one, but it's not quite ready, so we'll do that one later. We wanted to buy Coach a rocking chair, but I wanted one that we could paint orange and green. I have a painter right there in my house who's very good at that. So we couldn't find the kind of rocking chair we wanted. They were either too expensive or they were already painted. And then she told me about Sam's had this lounge, folding lounge chair, but fam, you already own it. We didn't have to paint it. So, of course, on behalf of the 220 Quarterback Club, we want to present you with this FAMU lounging chair so you can relax and watch TV and enjoy your retirement. Yeah, all right. Okay, thank you. We're going to change things around a little bit because of the time, but where's Hetty Artway? This is one of Tallahassee's busiest ladies. She's a moving and shaker. I got that wrong. It's hard to turn 80 Artway. Mover and a shaker in this community. I heard about her for many years. I've read about her, all of her accomplishments and achievements. I did not know she played softball when she was a student at FAMU. Just like a lot of people don't know I played football. Yeah. So it is a real honor to have Hetty Otway here today to say a few words about Coach. Miss Otway.
Hi everyone, I'm Heidi Otway, and I'm a 1992 graduate of the Florida A&M University. I went to high school in Miami at Carroll City, and I literally started playing softball when I was 7 years old. And I played all the way through high school, and when I got ready to graduate, I had to apply to Howard University, and I applied to Florida A&M University. And FAMU responded almost immediately, gave me a full ride, and I knew I wanted to play softball, so I reached out to my coach and I said, Coach, I want to continue playing softball at the collegiate level. And he said, you need to talk to Coach Ronnie. I said, Coach Ronnie? And he's like, yeah, you got to talk to Coach Ronnie. He says, actually, I'm going to reach out to her for you. So my coach reached out to Coach Ronnie, and within like 2 weeks, I got a letter from the dean of the journalism school saying, you're the kind of student we want to have at FAMU, so come on. So I got that. And then I heard from Coach Ronnie. And I came to Florida A&M. She was my coach. And you ever heard that you don't know how good you are until someone runs you so hard that you break down and you cry and you figure I'm not good at this, and then you wake up and realize that you learn things in that process? That was Coach Ronnie for me. She ran me hard because she saw something in me that I didn't even know that I had. And what I appreciated most about Coach Ronnie is she didn't just tell me what to do. I mean, I'm 18 years old, and she's out there running with me, showing me what to do. And I have a good example of this. She put me in the outfield because she said, you got speed, you got these long legs and long arms, and you can catch a ball. So she would literally run me like this, you know, like you do in football, and she says, now, Heidi, I need you to put your hand out and catch the ball. And I couldn't get it. I mean, it's getting dark. We really didn't have lights out there on the field. And she said, let me show you. And she got down like this. She had the glove in her hand. And she says, do it like this. And literally, my 18-year-old self, Coach, I don't know how old you are now. I don't know how old you were then. But she did that thing. And she says, I want you to repeat what I just did. And so they hit the ball. I did it. And I don't know how I did it, y'all, but I was like Superwoman. I caught that dang ball. And my confidence level went up to a place I'd never been before. And that was because Coach Ronnie had pushed me to be the best that I could be. And she was my coach all through my freshman year. She taught me how to slide into first base. I remember one day she put the slip and slide out in the softball field, and she had us slide and slide and slide. So I literally was like the lead base stealer my freshman year because of Coach Ronnie, and I was a really good bunter, hitter. I mean, she just brought out the best of me. And then she left me, y'all. She left me, and they brought in another coach my sophomore year and my junior year, and I played under them, but I still had Ronnie because she would come out and support us, and I still had that foundation, you know what I mean, that she instilled in me. And so my senior year, she came back as the head coach, but unfortunately, I could not play because I was on a 4-year academic scholarship. I had no money, and I had to graduate on time. So I couldn't play softball, or I would have had to stay another semester. So the one thing that I take away from all of my experiences with Coach Ronnie is right now I own a company, a public relations firm here in Tallahassee. And you know, you always hear about companies that say they treat their employees like family, right? I don't follow that. I treat my employees like a team, and I'm their coach. And I run them hard the way Coach Ronnie ran me. And I also lead by example. So if they don't know how to do something, I will get in there and do it with them the way Coach Ronnie taught me how to hit and how to slide and how to steal bases. And my firm is flourishing, it's doing well, and I'm not gonna cry, Coach, but you instilled in me how to be a leader by your example, because you always look back and reflect on what you learned. and I learned so much from you, and I owe some of my success to you being my coach, and I love you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, next, another former player, April Lynn, is here. April?
Yes, it's April Granger. April Granger Lynn, but April Granger for my FAMU days. Hey, Coach. I love this lady so much. I met her in 1993. We were playing slow pitch still in high school. FAMU was fast pitch, so I came, and all summer long she taught me how to hit a fast pitch ball, and that's really where our adventure began. But this lady is sweet, but she hard. She fair, but she hard. I said, I don't know what I got myself into. I picked softball because I hate running, like literally hate running. She ran us to death. We had to run like down Bragg, around the post office, and be back in like 15 minutes. And if you couldn't do it, you had to do it again. So we would get up to the dugout and about pass out, about to die. And she was just like, y'all okay? Y'all need a little water? She did not mind. Running hills, running whatever. She said, one thing for sure, we're going to be in shape. If we don't win, we're going to be in shape. But we actually did win. We were a pretty good team. We won a lot. But she gave us the drive to run through a wall for her. She taught us what it meant to be a rattlerette. One time we went to, I think, North Carolina, way up North Carolina on a bus. One of our players just decided she was going to be growner than Coach Wiggins. She didn't want to move when Coach Wiggins said move. She didn't want to come in the game when Coach Wiggins said come in the game. I said, this ain't going to end well. So at the end of the game, we went all the way out to outfield to talk in a little huddle. So Coach Wiggins is just talking. She was like, yeah, we're going to do this. You did good. Take off my clothes. You're done. Like she kicked her off out of town. So the girl had to ride all the way back on the bus off the team. But Coach Wiggins was fair, but she was hard. And we really just loved her to death. So I enjoyed you. And what turned into a coach became a family. And what turned into a family became love. And I love her to death. And she is everything I ever wanted. She gave me everything I needed to succeed and push myself more and more and more. I am a she said, tell you what to do. So I am also a business owner. I'm a financial advisor here. So I do retirement planning, life insurance, disability, long-term care, the full gamut. So I also am able to give back to people just as much as she gave to me. So we always want more and more and more for our people and our friends, our family. So that's what I do. And I am her financial consultant. She called me. I actually introduced her. I told her when I started 7 years ago, I said, I'm a financial advisor, just letting you know. But when she retired, I was the first person she called. So that is awesome. That is just a lot of love. When I what? Okay, I'm going to pass the mic. So you want Shireen?
Good afternoon. I brought my napkin just in case I get a little teary-eyed. I'm a firm believer in giving people their flowers and celebrating them while they're here. Therefore, I am so honored to stand before you all today to share with you my gratitude for Coach Wiggins. I'm also speaking on behalf of my sister, who currently resides in California, and she also played under the leadership of Coach Wiggins. When I think of Coach Wiggins, I can't help but to think about a softball cheer that we used to say, we used to sing, and it really solidifies what she has done for me. It goes a little something like this. Mama, mama, can't you see what Coach Wiggins done to me? She took me out my blue jeans, got me wearing orange and green. Mama, mama, can't you see what Coach Wiggins done to me? She took me out my hometown, got me winning all around. Mama, mama, can't you see what Coach Wiggins done to me? Standing tall and looking good, ought to be in Hollywood. This chant is so true. Not only did we play some good ball, but we matured on and off the field, and our parents were able to see a positive difference in us. In 1999, I left my hometown, Sacramento, California, at the age of 18 to pursue my education as a student athlete at the Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. Coach Wiggins welcomed me with open arms. I remember my freshman year, I was so homesick. And for my birthday, she made me my favorite homemade mac and cheese. If she wasn't the coach to build positive relationships with her teammates, she would not have ever known. Whew. Coach Wiggins wasn't just a coach, she was our mentor, always giving us pep talks and encouraging words. She was a great leader. She was like my second mother and sometimes my nurse. I remember traveling to Miami for a tournament and I was starting to get sick. Once we arrived to Miami, Coach Wiggins went to the store. She stuck a peppermint in a lemon and said, "Suck on this." Me being from California, I'm like, we don't do that home remedy. I never heard of that before. But I listened, and the next day, I felt so much better. Coach Wiggins believed in our athletic abilities and was not afraid to show others what we were capable of doing. Although we were a predominantly black softball team, we played against some of the best PWI schools in the United States, from Florida State, FIU, to Georgia Southern, the University of Florida, and so many more. We were the underdogs, and teams thought that they could dominate us, but they didn't. It was because of Coach Wiggins that we were confident and competed with the best of the best. Coach Wiggins was a coach who enforced academic excellence. She encouraged all of us to give our all on and off the field. On a lighter note, to this day, when I think about Coach Wiggins, there are three things that come to mind. One, there was a song that she would sing no matter the day, the type of weather, or the season. She would sing this song while we were at practice. My teammates, my FAMU sisters probably know. And it went a little something like this. "Merry Christmas, baby. You sure been good to me. Santa came down the chimney." What time? 3:30. We would be tired, we would be stressed, we would be, working, but that made us all laugh. Number two, we cannot forget about the infamous pose. Those who know Coach Wiggins know that she had a famous pose every time she took pictures, and it went like this. So when you're taking pictures with her today, you will see that pose. And lastly, we can't forget about her favorite word in the whole wide world, food. So I just wanted to say, Coach Wiggins, I appreciate you. I can write a book about, how good you've been to my family and I. I love you, and we will always appreciate you. We love you. I am an elementary school teacher. I'm also an author, and I have a educational consulting business as well. Thank you.
Okay, Raven. Shireen. I'll get there.
No problem. Hi, Coach. I love you. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Shireen Moore. Sorry? Oh, okay. My name is Shireen Moore. I was 18 years old and married. And Coach came and got me from Miami Jackson Senior High School. She has been a force in my life. She taught me so many life lessons. She gave me a scholarship, 4 years, full ride. I worked my tail off. But she never once said, "You are not worthy." And that's what I loved about her. She encouraged me. She taught me so many life lessons. I would not be who I am or what I am today without her. I've been through so much with her. I've been through so much overall, but she has been there and stuck with me the entire time. I know a lot of people may just look at her and say, she's just a coach. No. Are you kidding? She is like a mother to me. She has been there, driven me all of my life. Now, many people have this, I guess, persona of a coach. And Coach has not been that type of persona. She has gone above and beyond for all of her athletes, all of her students, all of her, everyone that comes on this team. We're a family. We grow together. We work hard together. We do whatever it takes to get the job done. As a matter of fact, I have that same demeanor about myself with my family, with friends, with whomever I come into contact with. She drove us. I mean, she just makes us more of a person that you want to get to know. You know, she makes us more of a valuable member of society. She has just gone above and beyond as a coach. I have never had that experience until I got here. Never. I've always been the type of person that just look at people and wonder, okay, where did you come from? And not have to have this type of person in your life. Come on. She has been more than enough. I don't know what I would do or not do without her in my life. Coach, if I don't say it enough, I love you. You're like my mother. And there's no takeaway from that at all. Thank you. I'm from Jamaica. Lived in Miami. I'm a medical disability program specialist. I work for the disability office, providing disability to everyone across the world, actually. Thank you all.
Coach, I haven't choked up so much since I was honored at a dinner. I know just how they felt. We have a colleague here. When he told me he was coming, I didn't tell him I was going to ask him to say anything, but he said you've always been one of his favorite people. So Marvin, if you would come up and say a few words about Coach, please. Marvin Green.
I'll be brief because it's hard to talk about Coach Wiggins and not get emotional. And and I say that because even with my mother here, when you leave, I came from Chicago as an 18-year-old, and I told her I wasn't coming back. I said, I like this weather a lot better than Chicago weather, right? And I was able and fortunate enough to begin my career at FAMU working with Bob Carroll in intramurals. Colonel Joe was one of my first bosses as well in student activities. But as you get older, you need different people in your life at a different time to give you just that thing that kind of keeps you on point, keeps you headed in the right direction. And Coach was always that. To me, one of several things. She's a friend, a mom, she's a coach, she's a marriage counselor. Because she gives it to you the right way. When you come to her and you're talking to her, she's going to give it back to you straight. And that's what happens. A lot of times people have people around them that'll say what they want to hear, not what they need to hear. That's not Coach. You know, and so she always props you up when you need to be propped up, but she'll put you in your place when you need to be put in place. And I think one of the things, when I worked in campus recreation, my office sat on the north side of the building, excuse me. And I think the testament of who Coach Wiggins is at about 3 o'clock, when those girls come out to the field, I don't think Coach comes out to the field until about 3:45. But you would not know that Coach wasn't there. That's lit like a well-oiled machine. To see a team going through their cadence and their repertoire speaks more. They talk about a leader, it says more about a leader when they're not there. And to me, when I saw that every day, being in the office every day, I see those girls hit the field, they just kind of had a regimen. And it always said, she's planted something in them. And even when, as times went on, and I think the statute of limitations is up, so I can probably say this, because there was a time when we were having this issue about, you know, what freshmen could do versus what the upperclassmen could do, et cetera. But Coach she was serious about that. No, this isn't it ain't the H word. This is what you have to do and go through the protocols when you're on the FAMU softball team, period. And the thing about it is when you see the freshmen doing what they have to do, you see the upperclassmen being leaders, it speaks about the type of person she is and the type of program that she runs. And even as I hear her today, as all of these young ladies finish talking, and Heidi is young too, because Heidi and I, we came to school together, so yes. But even as you hear her, at the end, she kept saying, tell them what you do. Tell them what you do. That's because she's proud of the women that she's created, not the softball players she's created. So, in closing, I'll just say, and I have to say this because she knows it, Coach, left the university a little earlier than she probably wanted to, kind of dealing with her situation now. And I was seeing her husband a lot. Wiggins and I go back, and he was coaching my son in baseball. And so this is somebody literally, I call her, she calls right back. She calls me, I call right back. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. And when I started talking to Wiggins about, hey, tell Coach to give me a call, I left her a message. She's not going to text you. That's not her thing. But she'll at least call you back. And when she wasn't calling back, I was starting to take it personal. I'm like, dang, Coach, it's me. Like, I know you called me back. And when she eventually caught up with me, somebody else told me, she said, I couldn't talk to you, Marvin. I couldn't talk to you at the time. And it just said so much about our relationship. And, once we did catch up, we caught up, and it's been great. I'm so glad to see her. And like Vaughn said, what COVID has done, what you're doing as well, but we have to give people their flowers while they're living. And that's why I'm so glad to hear this, because this is almost the things you would hear at a repast, right? But no, these are things that we should be able to say to people why they're here, why they're able to enjoy them. And Coach, I love you. You know I love you. Eddie, thanks so much for the opportunity.
Because of the time, I'm going to make a change. Mr. President, you effectively be President July 1. So instead of having a question and answer session, I just want you to say a few words about the coach.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Jackson. Hello, 220 Quarterback Club. How we doing today? Fantastic. It is great to be back on the highest of 7 hills. I'm hailing today from Fort Pierce, Florida. Born and raised there. back in town for the National Convention. Coach, it is such an honor to be here today to witness this. You know, I come from the same ilk and graduated in '92. And what I heard your players talk about to you is what lives in me today. Not you, but many others on this campus, many are in this room right now, poured into my life as a young man on this campus. I didn't play girls softball. They did not let me walk on the football team, and they doggone sure didn't put me on the basketball team. But nonetheless, it's this Rattler spirit. It's this community. It's this town. It's people like yourself. It's people in the audience that I know that nurtured me as a young man on this campus of Heights of Seven Hills. And it does me a great honor to be here today to witness this, to acknowledge your greatness. And you're right, Marvin, to have your roses, to see them, to smell them, to touch them. And this is recorded, so we can go home and replay this again. So they will go on and live on and on and on forever. That's the great thing about technology. But Rattlers, I'm proud to be here this weekend. We're going to have a great convention. Hopefully many of you are registered. I look forward to representing you and having a dialogue with you about the National Alumni Association. We are going to do great things with the National Alumni Association. Colonel Gregory Clark has put us on a great trajectory. My goal and mission is to build upon that. There are going to be some great things that we're going to do as the National Alumni Association. We have a great leadership team. I'm surrounded by some great ladies that have passion for the university, much like I do. But some of the things that we're going to have to do is advocate for our university. I'm an elected official. I run a city of 48,000 people. I understand what advocacy is. I deal with it each and every day, fighting for my city to get funds. So we've got to fight for the university. That's the kind of vigor I'll bring here. I'm also a person of inclusion. Everyone is welcome in the National Alumni Association. I don't care if you just walked across the stage 5 minutes ago or you've been in this association for over 80 plus years. This will be an inclusive environment. We recognize and appreciate the maturity and the shoulders of which we stand upon. We're going to get more people, our younger people, involved with the National Alumni Association because we need them to grow. We're going to grow to 10,000 active, paid, dues-paying members. We've got over 80,000 graduates. We're going to go to 10,000 active members in the National Alumni Association. And the reason that we need to do that, the reason we're going to do that, it triples our budget. It sends a signal to our advocacy people on the top of the hill. There's a magic thing about legislators when they hear 10,000 people paying money to an association. Doors begin to open and they want to listen and they understand. Trust me, I'm a politician. I understand that stuff. So as I begin to take my seat, I must remind you that July 1 starts the new fiscal year for the National Alumni Association. So I want to count on each and every one of you. I couldn't be your president-elect if I did not stand before you and ask for your commitment to be a part of a National Alumni Association. July 1 starts that timetable. So not only will we have life members, but I want to ask and encourage to find yourself under this umbrella I'm calling One FAMU. It's One FAMU, and that's all we have, and that's what we must fight for. You can be a part of the softball team, the baseball team, football team, that's all great, but it's still FAMU. And it's One FAMU that we're all fighting for, and we're going to move forward with it. So I want to thank you, Mr. Jackson, for having me today. And Coach, congratulations and all the blessings to you.
Curtis, a few weeks ago, we had a speaker who said, as I begin to take my seat 3 times. So you only said it once, and I appreciate that. Where's our president of our booster club? Oh, here he is. I know you need to say a few words about Coach Wiggins.
Hello, everyone. Coach Wiggins, congratulations. I learned something today that I didn't know. I thought that you were the only FAMU softball coach that there was. But congratulations, and as I told you earlier, I recommend retirement to everybody. But just hang on and wait long enough, and you're going to get there. So congratulations again.
Colonel Joe, you have a guest can I have a few words from the Vice President of our booster organization, Colonel Joe? Yes, sir. Okay. Ms. Hadley? I'm sorry. I didn't hear the question. No, it's, what is it? Salter Mitchell. Salter Mitchell. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mrs. Hadley, you were in direct line there. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, all right. Curtis, you have a guest?
I have to do this or I won't be able to go home. So I'd like to introduce my guest. This is Dr. Angela Brathwaite, my significant other. I've been slowly indoctrinating her into the FAMU culture and the way of life. I captured her when I lived on the West Coast. I lived in Phoenix, Arizona, so we met out in Arizona, California area, and we've been traveling the world together, and now she's back with me in Fort Pierce, and she's an associate member of the Florida University National Alumni Association. So she graduated from a couple other schools we won't name, USC and University of North Carolina, Chapel. Well, okay, never mind.
Yeah, Curtis, we have a rule about saying where our children or our spouses, went to school. And so I never mentioned after my daughter finished FAMU that she went to University of Miami Medical School and did her residency at Johns Hopkins. We don't permit those things. Oh, and Ms. Hadley can vouch, my grandson made the highest score in the 8th grade regional competition in science and is on his way, will be on his way to the national in Orlando next week. Okay, well, all right. The hour has come, Coach. I want to say one thing I was so impressed with what Marvin said, the way your coach, the team followed their procedures even though you were not there. Because when sometimes Coach Gaither was late coming to practice because of a press conference. And on the field, the coaches sometimes was out there just kind of fooling around with the players. But Coach had this big Lincoln. And when that Lincoln turned the corner, one of the coaches would holler, "Here come the Lincoln." And you would never know. Once Coach took Coach a long time to get on the field. Once he got there, man, they were just like your softball team. But people, the hours at hand, let's have a great round of applause for one of Florida A&M University's greatest coaches, one of FAMU's greatest women, Coach Veronica Wiggins.
First of all, I would like to say thank you for this honor, and I'm really humbled. And you just don't know what this means to me, that to have my athletes up here and speak volume. I've always been involved with the 220 Club. I think when I first started, Mr. Jackson got sick of me begging for his help till they just couldn't turn away anymore, and they decided to help the softball team, and we've been a family with the 220 Club ever since. But first I want to talk about the young ladies that God put in my life. See, my softball program was run by the man above. I just was obedient, and they knew that I was about the Father, and they knew how I felt. But dealing with the Father, it's called the fruit of the Spirit. It's about your character, and I was taught that you teach a person how to be a good citizen, a good, genuine person, a person that was faithful, a person that was loyal, a person that had integrity, a person that was honest. And this is all the values we ran on. We were a family, but we knew and depended on each other. And those ingredients was what made us successful. They did work hard. I did not play. I did what I had to do, and I would stop it in a minute. But I was about them. I wanted a program. I did not want a win and loss record. I wanted that they graduate, they came out as a productive citizen, they move and they could walk with their head high, because a black young woman needed that confidence, and that's what they got. They used to get angry at me, and they used to think the ball was my head, and it was okay, and I would tell them to think that, because I used to get some of them so hot and furious that they wished they could do something, but they couldn't. They couldn't. And the love of this game was my passion. And FAMU gave me the opportunity, and I am so grateful to FAMU and the administration I've been up under. As a matter of fact, I've been up under 16 different ADs. But that says something. I'm still here. Hey, that says something. You guys don't know. I was when I was on the field, they brought a joy in me, and I was something else. And when we got to talking and cheering, we were serious. I remember one year with April and we were playing FSU, and it was going to be her 900th win. And they came and brought a cake on our field. But when they left, that cake was in the trash, because they did not win. Am I right, April? But no, my trophy and my legacy is the young lady. I have over probably 10 doctors. I have a general surgeon. I have a pediatric that lead the department. We have over 20 lawyers. We have engineers. These are women. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, one young lady came just to congratulate me, and she is an occupational therapist, and she has her own business. That's what I'm proud of, and that's my trophy, because they bought into FAMU. Everybody had to learn the alma mater. I mean, you came and you had to believe in orange and green. There was a poem that Willie Brown wrote for us, and everybody that was a freshman had to read it. And it's about bleeding orange and green, and that's what we do. And now that I'm on the other side, hey, yeah, I'm gonna come to work, and I am a 220 now. Wednesdays, I will be here, but it's about helping and building a city, building a foundation, building a family. And when I came to FAMU, Coach Lane and Coach Mungeon grabbed me, and they taught me the hubba way. They taught me what it means to be a rattler. And I instilled that from what they did me, because I was a little young girl. When I came here, I had, my mother had 9 children and was single. and I was the oldest girl, so I had a lot of responsibilities. So when I came to FAMU, didn't go to college because I had to stay home to help my mother. And I did go to junior college because it was in town. But when I came to FAMU, I had been out of school 13 years. And when I was out of school, they decided to go to FAMU, and Vaughn was tested, and I took one class. And when I took that one class, everything changed. And I was hungry for an education. And I came and volunteered on the softball team. And when I volunteered, it just brought out my joy. And I finished doing what I do. I started coaching, and I wanted to show the young ladies, you had to get an education. You have to be a productive citizen. You have to know how to love and give back. You have to be there for others. Stop thinking about yourself and think about others, and that's what they do. And that's how they did it. And I just wanted to say, you just don't know how much this means to me. They thought I couldn't talk, but I can fool. I got this, and I talk when I get ready. They want me to do a interview here and an interview there, but I wasn't about the interviews. I was about these young ladies. They get the recognition because it's hard going out there in the dirt and the hot sun, in the cold and the rain, and not get that recognition. It wasn't about me. All I was doing just managing, just kept order. But they did all the work, and God sent me the best athletes there were. They bought in and they believed. Oh, because I was a mess sometimes, but they bought in and they believed. And I really appreciate y'all being there for me. You just don't know how much you guys mean to me. And I love all of you, and I always wish y'all well. And whatever I can do to support them, all they have to do is call me. And then whatever they can do to support me, they call me and I'll call them. But we're a family, and that's what this Rattling town and nation is about. It's about each other and taking care of each other all the way from the beginning to the end. And orange and green is my blood. I love it, and I love y'all, and I really appreciate what you have done today, and I will not forget it. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach. Next time you hesitate about giving to support these teams, when you see the impact that coaches have on the lives of these students, you can see it's more than worth it. And along with that, we're going to try to make the summer a lot more interesting before football season starts. So, where's Vaughn? Can next week, we expect to have the head football coach of Albany State University here. They are our first home game opponents. And we got some other people on that level involved with football scheduled for the rest of the summer. So save your money and prepare to come. I thought I saw Jerry wave her hand. Yes, ma'am. Oh, Coach, would you introduce your family, please?
I apologize to my family. My baby sister, who thinks she can tell me what to do, is here with her husband. Her name is Loretta Dozier, and his name is Anthony Dozier. As a matter of fact, she runs Dove Bible Club, and she had to go up against the Florida School Board to get Bible study in after-school programs. And now she has 37 schools. And she's on TV. And my next sister is after me, and her name is Denise White. And and her granddaughter is Sparrow Hall. Sparrow, stand up, please. You see that? And Sparrow mother is Latanya White, and she's here. She also was a professor at FAMU, and she's Dr. White now. And she has her degree, but I've always had family support, and we're there for each other, because with 9 children and a single parent, we took care of each other. That's what was embedded in us. We're there for each other no matter what. And that's where I learned how to love, is with my siblings. And I had to take care of them, although they made me mad, but they taught me how to love. And from there, I took it and gave it to the softball team.
Well, you made us mad too.
Yeah, because I run it.
You want to say something?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. Walter Spencer, you have a guest, don't you? Who do you have with you? All right, welcome, Leonard. Anybody else with a guest? Special guest? Okay, anybody on the floor want to say anything before we close? No comments? We've had it. Who? Oh. Hold on.
I just want to say that my niece, Tashayla Irvis, their softball team won 5 championships in a row. Four championship. And now my niece, her sister, Michaela Irvis, is a sophomore here at FAMU. She's on the softball team also.
Fantastic. Thank you, Shirley. Yes, Vaughn.
You gotta get Coach Wiggins to tell about why she recruited sisters and how many sisters she recruited.
Oh, okay.
I've had 15 sets of siblings under me. And I'm telling you, the baby always was the best. This is one of the babies. The baby studied their bigger sister while they were playing, and when they got to be able to play, they was a student of the game. And I have enjoyed every minute. Just like I said, it's been a family, but we've had 15 sets of siblings, and that's big sister and little sister. And I've also had a mother and a daughter. And the mother graduated, and her daughter played for me and graduated. Yes, both of them played for me. Yes, I've had them from Mexico. I've had them from Colombia. Yes, I've had young Bahamas. Yeah, Jamaica. So, but it's been a family. It's been a joy. That was my passion and my love. It wasn't work. It was just making sure I gave them a good role model and a good example, and they turn out to be productive. And they have. That's why I wanted you to know what all of them do. Thanks again. Thanks again.
Okay. Yes. Wilbur.
That's right, from that more.
Curtis, I have an op-ed piece in the Tallahassee Democrat this morning about the Alumni Association. You may want to check it out. I'll sign autographs later. Okay. Okay. If we're yes, just autograph.
Wait a minute. I am a lifetime member of the, all right, I just want to make sure I say it.
Okay, people, if nobody else, room, or you were just waving hand? He's still upset because I beat him in chess all the time. Yeah. We'll see everybody next week, Albany State head football coach. Okay.